Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to show you how to descale this Verismo coffee maker espresso maker. So this is Starbucks' older espresso machine. It's the Verismo from kefee. It takes the Verismo pods. So this machine is a lot like a Keurig, but it's a little different. And we're going to go over how to descale it. One of the reasons you may notice, so there's two things that can happen. So this is the rinse light. It can turn red and flash at you really fast. That means it's needing descaled. But if this light is flashing red and this light is flashing green, like together, these lights are off, that means the machine is overheated. And you just need to kind of like open that up and let it sit for a little bit. We may see those lights when we're doing our rinse and running our descale through it. So nothing to worry about, just the machine's overheated and it won't let you do anything. So I went to the Starbucks and the kefee website. They don't want you to descale with vinegar, but they're okay with you using a Keurig solution that has citric acid. Citric acid is okay, and there's other types of descaling solutions that have lactic acid, and those are okay too. So I'm going to use the Keurig descaling solution, and all the manufacturer says is we'll follow what's on the bottle. Well, in order to find the instructions on the Keurig machine, you got to peel. Because the instructions aren't here how to use it. So you got to peel this, and here's the instructions. Now, I'm going to use brewers with a water reservoir. That's what I'm going to use, which is essentially, you're going to dump this concentrated in the reservoir back there. Then you're going to fill this up with water and dump this in there too. So the first thing we want to do is, so we're going to open this up, no pod. We're not going to have a pod in this, but the handle does need to be closed. So the handle is going to be closed with no pod in it. Second, you're going to empty the water reservoir. I've got the water reservoir emptied. Now, I don't have my water filter, but you may have a carbon water filter down there at the bottom of that inlet. You want to take that out for the duration of this and put it in when we're all done. So here I've got my Keurig descaling solution. I'm going to pour this whole concentrated bottle in there. Now I'm going to fill this up with water and dump it in there now. Okay, so I went over to the sink. I just filled this up with just fresh water. Now I'm going to dump it in. And we'll be below our max line. That's okay. Our max line's right there. So now I'm just going to put the water reservoir back in. Got the machine on. Make sure the machine is on. So now we want to run that descaling agent and water through the machine. Again, no pod in. You can do it. The manufacturer says to do the rinse, so do a bunch of rinses. But you don't get much water through when you do the rinses. So I like to do the coffee. You're going to get 8 ounces each time. 8 ounces through the machine each time you press this button. Okay, so it ran a full, 8 ounces. I already had 2 ounces in there, but it ran a big full 8 ounces through there. So the idea is we're going to empty out this reservoir. I'm going to keep hitting that button until this reservoir is completely empty. Now, the manufacturer isn't real clear on this, but I'm going to stop. I don't want this thing to cavitate, the pump. I'm going to stop when the water gets just right about there. And what the theory is, so there's a tank inside here that's holding water with a heating element. And we're going to run this down. That means that descaling agent is going inside this tank around that heating element and then coming out. But by taking it down to this part, I'm going to let it soak. I'm going to let it soak for 15 to 30 minutes. Once it gets down to here, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to let it soak. That's going to get, the heating element's going to keep heating up that water and keep it at maintain a certain temperature. And then after about 15, 30 minutes, then I'm going to rinse that out. I'm going to fill this up with fresh water. And then we're going to run fresh water through the machine. One complete reservoir of fresh water through the machine. So the reason we descale, now this is a coffee maker. This is like a 5 or 6 year old coffee maker. That's the inside of a hot water tank inside a coffee maker that has not been descaled. So we want to prevent all of that calcium deposits and stuff not heating up inside of this machine. Now that's an exaggerated example. The water tank on that one's is not as big. So if your coffee's not tasting the best, or if it's not as hot as it used to be, you definitely want to start descaling. Okay, so again, I've got some more to do. We're going to hit the button again. Now when I see the water getting down low and the machine is still running, I can come up here and I can hit this button again, and that stops it. Okay, so the water's getting pretty low. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to stop it. Now I'm going to let this machine sit for 15 to 30 minutes with it on. It does have an auto shut off feature. I think it shuts off after 30 minutes. But we're just going to let it sit here, and then we're going to rinse this out. Okay, so it's been 30 minutes. I cleaned this out with soap and water, and I'm going to fill it up with fresh water. Okay, again, I've got the water reservoir back in. Again, no pod is in. Now we need to run that water through. That's fresh water. And I'm going to do a bunch of coffee to run 8 ounces through. We want to empty that reservoir out completely. Okay, so see how those lights are flashing? Don't get nervous, but that one's flashing red and that one's flashing green. It just means it's overheated. So we've been running a lot of water through here. The heating element's been... So just open the lever, let it cool down. It doesn't take long at all for it to cool down. Within a minute, it's cooled down, and then you can start the process again. It's just a safety mechanism to keep you from using it when it does heat up. Okay, the lights all went green. Like I said, less than a minute. And, you know, I've been alternating. I've been doing the coffee one. I've been doing the rinse one. I've been doing the hot water one. Just, we want to get that water completely out of there. So the water reservoir still has some ways to go. Once that water is completely out of there, then you're ready to go. This thing is completely flushed. You're not going to have any aftertaste of the descaling solution or anything. So you need to give yourself about a half hour, or I'm sorry, about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how long you want to let it soak. So that letting it soak does really help, but sometimes you don't have the time to let it soak. And so, but at the very least, you do need to run the descaling agent through there. So I hope this video helps. If you've got any questions or comments on how I did this, leave them down below. I check my comments daily. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm going to be fixing some drinks with this Verismo machine. I've got the frother with it, and I'm going to be doing different kinds of drinks and with the Starbucks pods. So if you could, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.